This might sound pretentious, to be honest, but I think it's true. We live in a world where smart people are silenced for dumb people to avoid being offended. It's a quote I either read or heard not too long ago. And, well, I think I'm not the only one seeing the connections to the world we live in. Not just on a larger scale, say politically. For example, nuclear power is fear-mongered. Now that I think about it, probably because the oil and fossil fuel industry are lobbying, is that what it's called? Where they're like creating fake studies and all that. Fake votes to avoid losing their, the public's opinion to an objectively better energy source. And if you disagree with me on that, then either I hope you are susceptible to other people's opinions and open-minded, and would like to stick around to hear more from me, or you are not susceptible to that, and then you can promptly leave, because I simply do not care about wasting my time on someone that will not try to learn. I think. Frankly, nothing I say is set in stone. I think. Given the ever-changing nature of existence. So, it is what it is. Today I'm not going to talk about nuclear power or fossil fuel, unfortunately, but that is a thing that could be fun to talk about for the future, if you'd like to hear it. It's more about speaking your mind and not silencing yourself and avoiding talking about things because people get offended. Say this. Now, this is never actually the case, but let's say you are objectively true in a statement. At least considering the perspective that you are, I guess, pushing said statement from. Avoiding speaking or avoiding saying said things because people get offended and maybe annoyed at hearing what you have to say is akin to rejecting your own, self, nature, and you're rejecting your own opinion. You're rejecting the worthiness of your own opinion in lieu of public opinion, the more popular one, group pressure, social atmosphere. You're saying your opinion isn't, or your statement, or your logic, or your perspective or way of existence isn't worthy of consideration because most other people don't agree. That's stupid. At least, I think so. Or I wouldn't want to live that way. So I can't see you doing it either. And I hope you don't, I guess. Now, obviously, say you have a controversial statement to share. You should absolutely be careful with the way you're sharing it. Because even if you're saying the exact same thing, like not word for word, but you're transmitting the same message, depending on the way that you transmit said message, it can be received in a multitude of ways. I can't come up with any good examples at the moment. But if you're being an asshole and you're saying things that are true, people will not care for what you have to say. You're being an asshole. And frankly, I agree. You shouldn't be an asshole. But if you're being a kind, well-meaning individual, even just in the way that you act and obviously in the way that people see you, they will be way more susceptible to your message, to what you're saying. I've talked about this before, but I want to go back into it. Because respecting your opinion and talking about it, obviously caring for the way that you share your opinion, is purposeful communication. And I feel like that's been lost. Fuck, I've talked about that as well. At least I think. Right, I said something in a video a few months back about at least the way that it's portrayed in media with the, was it the Renaissance? And how people would communicate then was very clear cut. And it was like clear communication between the parties involved. Like there was no wasted dialogue. But obviously that's according to media, and that's not really something to trust, I suppose. Either way, a lot of people talk and behave in ways that avoid the conversation because of fear of confrontation, I suppose. And so creating this new norm of always speaking your mind, always being honest, because, well, we're all different people. We all have different opinions. We all have different values that dictate those opinions. We all have different ideas of what the world is and what the experience should be in said world, or life, universe, whatever. And so if we could just be open with each other about everything we're talking about, or just everything we're experiencing, just imagine the potential that a society like that could have, or would have. Naturally, this comes with a required amount of open-mindedness, to simply accept that other people can have different opinions from yourself. The way I think about it is usually that we have different opinions, sure. And even when two people are faced with the exact same stimuli, information, and history, they'll make different decisions. At least, I think so. We haven't done experiments like that, so it's kind of hard to say. But I guess the way I've been thinking about it in my head, now vocalizing it, is that we have different values, like core values deep down, that we emulate through our opinions and decisions. And so even if, like, I can't, I would have a hard time vocalizing my true core values, probably, because they're probably kind of loose and undefined, but if you ever touch them, they have very clear borders. But it's hard to grab on to the entire thing. I think that makes sense. And so we all have different values. And because of those values, say loosely that I value the color green more than the color red. And there are two people. They're both faced with the choice of picking a red car or a green car. One cares a great bit about, I guess maybe the like, so the first one cares about the colors, or they like the color green more than the color red. The other cares a lot about how the vehicle appears on the road when being driven, or something like that, for safety reasons. Like, these are the differences in their values, and even if they're faced with the same choice and the same information, that they're both the same car or something. This wasn't the best example, but they would pick differently, because one cares about this and the other doesn't care about that. The other cares about this. Another thing. And so that's where different opinions come from. We have different values. We care about different things. We value different things more than other things. And as such, our opinions are shaped and formed and created after that. I think this might not be how the world actually works, but it's a way that makes sense in my mind so far. And yeah, it's probably incorrect, but it's like, you press the gas pedal in a car, it goes forward. You don't need to know much else, I guess, for now. And I guess that's kind of the point, because obviously there's like social, we usually, at least, act in a way that the social atmosphere agrees with, or whoa, God, what the fuck, I'm feeling tired all of a sudden. What the fuck, what was I saying? Whoa, I've entirely lost my train of thought. What the fuck? Right. Social stimuli. Like the way we've grown up and like been treated, form certain habits in our behavior, which probably dictates a lot of our decisions and values. There. I think that's what I wanted to say about that. So it's like a lot more complex than just being born with a set of values that don't change or something like that. But it's what I'm going with for the moment, because it's well, it's correct enough that it's usable. Not that I ever like find out someone's values, so it's not directly applicable like that. It's more having an idea of that we are inherently different, and therefore it's okay to be different. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. All right. Was that it? No. God, my head. What the fuck? Have I had enough water to drink? God, sorry. Um, um, values. I'm sorry, I can't focus anymore. Jesus. I don't know what's happening. Um, right. Yeah, no, I won't be able to keep going. I don't think I had much else to say, anyways. So I'm gonna finish it off with and summarize a little bit. As I always say, take care of yourself and value your opinions, because we are all inherently different and it's okay to be. Obviously, like, according to your own nature, try to be right and everything. Like, one person's right might be, let's take something extreme, like this person deserves to die, and according to me that's correct, and according to my values and everything I am right. But according to this person deserves to live, and while they're both right, it's all a, like, deserving and values and opinions, it's all a human construct. There is no right and wrong, or maybe there is, I don't know. As I always say, I don't know. So with that said, like, act true to your nature, because I think that's probably what will feel best for all of us. At least I feel good when I'm acting true to myself. So try to figure out what's true to you, and then act accordingly, I suppose. It will feel natural once you find it, I think. This is a lot of like wishy-washy stuff. It's kind of hard to put into words. Or like concretely. Yeah. Also, like, support nuclear power. It's like, yeah, it's technically bad, technically, but literally everything we have in, like, for making power and everything, like, is bad in some way, and like, nuclear power is like the least bad. Much rather that than breathing poison, I'm just saying. Like, here, animals and humans walk. No. No, I want to say this. Animals and humans walking through the woods damage the ground and the brush and everything they're walking on. Oh my god. We're damaging stuff. You can't do that. You're hurting nature. Yeah, well, okay. Literally everything we do, like breathing and eating and shitting, everything we do damages something. So, unless you can somehow be some kind of extra dimensional being that entirely ignores physics and doesn't interact with any matter whatsoever, just gonna accept that we do what's best with what we have. Yeah. All right. Take care. Act accordingly. Yeah. I'll see you. I hope.